If today feels more decisive, like you're no longer just exploring, like something is asking you to choose, this isn't random. Something has already shown itself. The past few days you tested, you observed, you recognized. And now you're being asked to commit. Not to everything, but to what has already proven that it works. You may notice that certain directions feel stronger today, more defined, more stable, more worth your energy. Not because they suddenly changed, but because you've seen them hold. And that creates a different kind of clarity, one that asks for decision. You may also feel less interest in exploring everything, less curiosity about other options, because something is already standing out. And that shift from exploration to selection is what today is about. You're no longer just testing direction, you're beginning to choose it. And that can feel different, more focused, more grounded, slightly more serious. Because commitment reduces flexibility, but it increases direction. You may also notice a sense of responsibility returning, not pressure, but awareness, that what you choose now begins to build more consistently, more intentionally, more long-term. So if today feels more decisive, more grounded, like something is asking you to stop testing and start leaning in, it's because you've reached the point where direction becomes commitment.
What you're experiencing today is not pressure to decide, it's readiness to commit. The past phase was about gathering information, testing direction, observing what works, recognizing patterns. And that phase has done its job. You now have enough clarity to move differently. Not perfectly, but accurately. And that accuracy is what allows commitment. Because commitment without clarity creates restriction. But commitment with clarity creates progress. That's the shift happening today. You're no longer operating from uncertainty. You've seen enough to know where your energy is best placed. And now your system is naturally leaning toward it. You may notice that certain actions feel more stable, more repeatable, more sustainable. They don't require constant adjustment. They hold on their own. That's not coincidence. That's alignment reaching a level that can be trusted. And when something becomes reliable, it asks for consistency. Not occasional attention, but continued engagement. That's what commitment is. Not forcing yourself into something, but staying with what already works, allowing it to build, allowing it to develop, without interrupting it. You may also notice that your energy feels more focused today, less open, less exploratory, because exploration is no longer necessary. You've no longer looking for direction anymore. You've found it, even if it's not fully complete yet. And that's enough. Because direction becomes clearer through commitment, not through endless testing. So what you're feeling today is not limitation, it's consolidation. Your energy gathering around what matters, becoming more precise, more intentional, more aligned with what actually works. And that's what allows real progress to begin.
This is where today becomes decisive, because commitment requires clarity, but also honesty. You may feel the pull to choose, to focus, to lean into something more fully, but at the same time, there can be resistance. The first trap is avoiding commitment, even when something is clearly working. Staying in testing mode, keeping options open, delaying decision. telling yourself you need more time, even when you already have enough clarity. Because commitment can feel limiting. It reduces flexibility. It asks you to let go of other options, and that can create hesitation. So instead of choosing, you stay in uncertainty, even though direction is already visible. The second trap is committing to the wrong thing, not because you don't know better, but because something feels familiar, or comfortable, or easier to maintain, even if it's not what truly held. You may confuse consistency with comfort, or alignment with familiarity, and that can lead you to invest your energy in something that doesn't actually support your direction. There's also a subtler pattern today, trying to commit to too much. Instead of choosing one clear direction, you try to carry multiple paths, thinking you can balance everything, maintain all options, move in several directions at once. But commitment requires focus, and focus requires reduction. You can't fully build something if your energy is divided. So the real calibration today is clear selection, not based on fear, not based on comfort, not based on urgency, but based on what has actually shown you that it works, what holds consistently, what feels stable over time, what doesn't require constant effort to maintain. That's what you choose. Not everything, just what is real. Because what makes today powerful is not the act of committing, it's committing to the right thing. So how do you commit without losing awareness and without locking yourself into something too rigid? You commit in a grounded way. Not all at once, but intentionally. Because commitment is not about intensity, it's about consistency. Start by choosing clearly one direction, one focus, one area where your energy will go. Not everything, just what has already shown you that it works. And once you choose that, stay with it. Not by forcing yourself, but by returning to it consistently, repeating the actions that have already proven to be aligned. Because repetition is what strengthens commitment. You can also keep awareness active. Committing doesn't mean you stop observing, it means you stay engaged while continuing to notice what holds. So as you move, keep checking in. Not to question everything, but to stay connected, to make sure what you're building continues to align. You may also find it helpful to reduce unnecessary variation. When something works, don't keep changing it. Let it stabilize. Let it become reliable. Because reliability is what turns effort into progress. You can also allow space for adjustment. Commitment is not rigid. If something needs refinement, you adjust it without abandoning the direction. Because direction is built over time, not decided once. So today, choose what holds. Stay with it, repeat it, let it build, without rushing to expand it, without needing to perfect it immediately. Because that's what creates real movement. Not scattered effort, but focused consistency. Let everything settle here. Not to slow your movement, but to anchor it. Because today was not about finding direction, it was about choosing it. And that changes how you move. So take a breath, steady, controlled, unforced, and notice what remains when you stop exploring everything else. There's a clearer sense of focus here, not because everything is decided, but because something has been chosen. And that choice is what creates stability, because direction becomes real when you stay with it, not when you keep searching. So not everything needs your attention now. Not every option needs to be considered. Some things can be released, not because they're wrong, but because they're not yours to build. And when you allow that, your energy gathers. It becomes stronger, more focused, more consistent. And that consistency is what creates progress. Not sudden movement, but steady development. So as you move forward from here, keep returning to that. What have you chosen? What has already shown you that it works? Stay with it. Let it repeat. Let it grow, without interruption, without overthinking, without needing to change it constantly. Because what you commit to now begins to shape your path in a more permanent way. Not rigid, but stable. Not forced, but consistent. And that's what creates direction that holds over time. So carry that with you, this ability to choose and stay with what is real. And if this helped you feel more focused, even slightly, return to it as your direction continues to strengthen. And if you want to keep moving through these shifts with more awareness, more control, you can come back here each day, not to keep searching, but to keep building.